story. The Board of Cricket Control for India today made a big announcement, a historic one at that, stating that the match fee for both men and women contracted cricketers will be the same from now. BCCI Secretary Jay Shah confirmed that the contracted senior women's cricketers will earn the same match fee as their male counterparts. In fact, India women will now get 15 lakh for test matches, 6 lakh for ODIs and 3 lakhs for T20 internationals. The decision comes just days after it was decided in the BCCI AGM. Let me cut across to my colleague Maria Shakil in an exclusive conversation with Mithali Raj.
So I think it's a great move.
Great move. This gender pay parity is something that has been in demand for long, Mithali. Would you say it's coming late, or are you one of those who will be saying better late than never?
Well, I would say I am the later one, better late than never. But I personally also feel that for all the changes to happen in the right direction, it is one step at a time. Nothing happens overnight, and you can't expect all the changes to happen at once. So like when the central contract happened, and then slowly things have started to roll for women's cricket. And today we get to see equal match fees for the girls. And slowly there will be many more decisions like that coming in the future. But women's cricket has its own journey as a sport it had, And if we want women's cricket to be currently where men's cricket stands, this is a huge impetus in the right direction, I would say.
It has started, of course, with that announcement, Mithali. It says that match fee for both men and women cricketers will be the same, which is 15 lakh rupees for test and 6 lakhs for ODI. But there are several other categories as well. Would you be raising questions as to what happens to that? Because BCCI has 4 categories for men, which includes an A+ category where men get 7 crore, and there's no A+ category at all in women cricket.
See, I think first I would like to enjoy this huge big decision and see, what sort of a impact it is going to have overall, just not limiting to the team or to the current national players or national side, but in terms of the expanding the pool of players, how young girls take up the sport, or what sort of a ratio of girls will be keen to get into the sport, because the sport slowly is turning into a complete professional career for girls who are very passionate to take up cricket as a profession, and how it will change the landscape of women's cricket in terms of market and viewership. Of course, there's huge viewership in the past few years. The sport has its own fan base. Women's cricket has its own fan base. Players are managed by, there are many sports management agencies. They are household names. They endorse brands. So I think everything slowly is falling into place. So I will not look into what else has to happen. But yes, there's one thing that I thoroughly wish, that the Indian team should go on to win an ICC tournament. That would be a huge thing, along with all these developments.
So victories certainly make a huge difference. Mithali, would you look back and say that perhaps this kind of development, progression should have happened at a time when you were there, when you were part of this game?
Well, as I said, the sport has its journey, and I've been part of the journey for a long time. And I've seen the bad days and the good days. Coming under BCCI definitely is changed a lot for women's cricket. And I would say that I've been very honest here that, probably I was one of the few or the only player who could see the entire journey from where it started to where it is today. And I don't have the feeling that it should have come when I was playing. Probably my legacy is that to see the day of today where women's cricket is, to get these changes and pass on the baton to the future players who will take it on from there. Everybody have a role to play. I had my role in this journey through the sport, and I'm very happy and glad to live to see this day where the girls will be paid equal match fees. And I'm sure there will come a point where men's cricket stands today. There will be women's cricket. Women's cricket also will stand at that level, and I will live that day as well.
And Mithali, cricket often sets the tone, the pace for other games. Would you say that this is the beginning of pay parity, gender pay parity in other games as well? Hockey, football, women getting their due in those games as well?
Yes, of course. The other organizations can look at this as an example and probably help the women's sport overall in different fields, to get it to where it is today and where women's cricket is today. But yes, again, I would say that it's a process. It will take some time. But it is important that the organizations everywhere should work towards getting equal pay parity for men and women and reduce this disparity.
And to women who will be joining cricket now, and to the came before you, sports women who came before you, there are several spaces they travel. They have had their journeys, just as Mithali Raj has had. And Mithali, I remember that conversation that we had about Shabash Mithu, when you said that there was no recording either. There was no, documentation of the matches that women used to play. And today we are talking about a landmark move of the BCCI.
Well, yes, I think we've come a long way from matches which were just memory for most of us in those days. And now where, the girls can see the best innings in a loop, like rewind and play and see how they have done well. And for people also to see the journey of women's cricket from now on. So I think the sport definitely has come a long way. All of us had some part to play. And it will only strengthen as the years go by, which I would like to say that, most of you all know women's IPL is scheduled next year. That's going to be a huge thing. There's Under-19 World Cup for the first time. And I'm quite excited to see how our Under-19 girls will do in the World Cup. Then there's T20 World Cup as well for women next year. So I think it's a big year for women's cricket globally. And this, as you rightly said, it's a landmark thing for Indian women's cricket. And I only hope that, there are many more girls who are well supported by their parents to take up this sport and expand the pool of players, that at a point where we get to see the bench strength is just as equally strong as the national side.
Yes, and cricket is religion in India. We are seeing this transform in our lifetime, a decision that has been taken, which is truly transformational and progressive, to say the least. Mithali, do you think this will set standards for other professions as well? That gender pay parity is something that has been spoken by professionals, women, actors, Hollywood superstars, all of them have spoken about it. Do you think there is more such conversations that is needed around this?
Yes, I think in the past few years, a lot of us have spoken about the disparity and what changes need to come. And it is also important that, it has to start from home. So it definitely has to start from the organizations who want to sort of, close this gap. Like BCCI has been so proactive, and Mr. Jay Shah has taken some very good decisions in the right direction towards improving women's cricket in our country. And this can be seen as an example by the other organizations who would want to see their women's team grow by leaps and bounds and create a landmark sort of a decision where, they also reduce the gap in terms of the disparity given to the women athletes.